not one to bear a grudge. Everyone is welcome tonight.
So, how are you finding it round here then, Maggie?
Grand, thank you. The thing I can't get used to is all the pigeons.
Why, do you not have pigeons in all?
No, the seagulls ate them all.
Most of them are drones.
Hey?
They're mixed with the real pigeons spying us from China.
What? Chinese pigeon drones?
I read about it
In the Beano?
online. But think about it. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
The talk of the street.
Talk of the street.
Hello and welcome to episode 386 of The Talk of the Street, an unofficial Coronation Street catch-up podcast that notes that Billy falling off a fucking cliff wasn't enough to kill him. Hashtag just saying. I'm Gavin.
And I am here to announce the return of everybody's favorite button.
Evil dies tonight!
Not that button.
Oh.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Not that button.
We're sending help immediately, Mrs. Fletcher.
John Doe has the upper hand.
Not that button.
I'm running out of buttons here.
There we go.
March and talk. I haven't had it in so long.
I know. I am once again working for an auction company.
Gainfully employed.
Gainfully employed as an independent contractor, but still making the money, selling the urinals.
Selling urinals
Yes.
to whoever. I was going to say it's a shit job, but that doesn't really work. It's a piss job, but that doesn't really work either.
It's fine.
The intention to mock was there,
Yes. And
that's all that counts.
that's all that counts.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much. It's a little bit different sort of
Because you're selling urinals.
things, yeah. An awful lot of it is like overstock and things like that, unless, you know, your uncle's died and you don't know what to do with his stuff, sort of thing. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's good to be back on the old horse again.
It's not all just things that you piss into that you've been selling.
No.
Or you're...
No. That particular auction will also have doors.
Doors. People always need doors.
And sinks. And a chemistry analyzer.
Oh. Didn't expect it to go in that direction.
No, me neither, but here we are.
Very
So
good.
it'll be our first consignor auction with the East Lansing Auction Company, which is who employs me at this moment. So, yeah.
Your urinal thing does remind me of the burning question at work this week.
Oh, what was the burning question this week?
What would you rather? Would you rather stink a pish or smell faintly of shite?
I think smell faintly of shite.
Yeah, a lot of people went stink a pish because I think pish is more acceptable than shite.
Well, you think it's more acceptable.
But when I motioned the
it's like
the responses, you know, if I'm sitting there and my best friend Brandon comes in and sits next to him and he's stinking a pish, I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is that? Whereas if he comes in smelling faintly of shite, I'm like,
oh, you must have passed gas.
Is that a little bit of shite? So the reaction is far more exaggerated for the pish.
Is that why when you came upstairs you asked if I smelled shite?
No, but that did remind me of that as well. So many indicators to that little...
Absolutely.
That little snippet. That was my week at work. Anyway, well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
And you can work from home, and that's nice.
Yes. Although Monday I'm going to go in, and I'm actually going to go in because they need some guidance as far as taking pictures are concerned.
Oh.
So I'll be going in at least one day, and there may be other times that I have to go in, but for the most part, I'll be able to work from home, which is nice. It's a little weird cataloging something that I can't hold in my hands, but you've seen one urinal, you've seen them all.
That's right. We are definitely giving the impression that this is all that you're selling. So it's not Armitage Shanks that you're working for.
No.
Or American Standard.
No. Some of the things are from Kohler, so that's cool.
Fancy.
Fancy, yes.
All right. Well, I don't have a smooth segue. So shall we preamble, my dear?
Yes, please.
Give us some of that stinky Corrie news.
Jack B. Shepherd has revealed Malcolm Hebden, a.k.a. Norris,
Yours, Cole,
fell asleep during the filming of Kylie Platt's funeral. Like, Jack P. Shepherd is standing up and giving the eulogy for Kylie, and he looks out and there's Norris sound asleep.
Superb.
Yes.
I love it.
Sounds like Hebden might have a career in politics.
Yep.
Which, I don't know if that joke works. Is he alive still?
Yeah.
Okay. Whew.
85.
Yeah.
So, not too old to go into politics.
Not too old to get into politics at all.
I imagine people fall asleep quite a bit during these filming sessions, especially when you're sitting about in one place for a while, you're not having anything to do, and you're under the lights.
Right.
So you're kind of bored, hot.
Yeah.
You're sitting down. Yeah, I'm having a little snooze.
Yeah.
Good for him.
This was on their podcast, the sofa one, where only two of them are sitting on a sofa and one is sitting in a chair. They're not all on a sofa together anymore. It makes me sad. But like they were giving suggestions like, bring a book with you, have something else to do, walk around in between takes, get plenty of sleep.
Drink coffee.
Yeah. All that fun stuff. Anyway. Happy anniversary to Jane Danson, who celebrates 20 years of marriage with hubby Robert Beck, who I think was most recently on EastEnders for a while, but he hops soaps.
He was Gavin in Emmerdale.
Yeah.
My name's Gavin.
Your name is Gavin. Did he prove the theory that all Gavins in movies and television are assholes?
Yeah, he was a bit of a prick.
Yeah. I don't know why people keep writing scripts in which Gavins are assholes, because you're a fucking delight.
That's right.
Don't you forget it.
I'm trying to remember why he was a prick. I think he stood up Bernice. He was a bit of a womanizer.
Yeah. Aren't they all? Except for you.
He was secretly bisexual.
That's fun.
And this was in 1999.
Wow.
When...
The gay 90s.
When bisexuality was new.
Nobody was taking bisexuals seriously back then. Anyway, and finally, Mazel Tov to Callum Lil and fiance Roberta, who are expecting their first child together. Hopefully Callum does a better job at parenting than Joel did. It's cute. It was on Instagram, and they painted her belly like a snowman's head.
I saw that.
And stuck a carrot in her belly button. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's cute.
You could get a carrot in my belly button.
Probably.
You can maybe get
Probably put a couple in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's Corrie News.
A vegetarian Corrie News. It's been a while since we've had one of them. But as ever, doesn't matter if it's vegetarian, doesn't matter if it's meat eating. One way or the other, it leads directly to the feedback section that I like to call Everyone's a Critic. Bianca Peter writes, Becky said that she didn't go to Roy's because of the quality of the coffee, not because she was hiding. Although Roy is still annoyed about keeping her secret. So that was the reason.
Yeah. She could just be saying that about the coffee because nobody else complains about Roy's coffee.
I don't think she's trustworthy.
No.
Call me crazy. I don't think Becky is trustworthy.
You're crazy.
Bianca Peter, I think, is very trustworthy, though.
Sure.
Calgary and Jennifer writes, only 1 degree Fahrenheit. And she sent a screenshot of the current temp where she was, which was negative 31C with wind chill, which is negative 28 in Fahrenheit terms.
Yes.
And bless her heart, she also offered to change her name to Uranium Jennifer if it's easier for me to pronounce. And I may well take you up on that, but not this week, because I have to change the scrolling thing and I just simply don't have time.
Yeah, Calgary gets cold. That's why they had the Olympics there.
Right.
Yeah.
The Winter Olympics.
The Winter Olympics.
Just to be clear.
Remember when it got sort of that cold here? When we soaked a T-shirt and you went outside with a T-shirt and it froze immediately?
That was negative 40.
Yeah.
Which is negative 40 in both methods of measuring.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a thing on the TikTok of people throwing boiling water out of kettles and how it would just immediately turn to vapour and
they
stuff,
recommend
and then
not
it would
doing that.
blow back into their faces and cause untold damage. But the thing that you could do that was fairly safe was get a wet T-shirt, put it on a
hanger
and take it outside and wait for a couple of minutes and it freezes solid.
Yes.
So that you can turn the hanger through 90 degrees and the T-shirt is now rigid.
Yes.
And
it's stiff all the way through.
And then when you knock on it, snow comes out.
That's what she said.
And that's what happened. Wendy writes, how soon can those 3 leave number 6? Yeah, I think we're lumping Betsy in now with the people that we want to evacuate from number 6. I know I am.
Yeah. She was a little better this week, but not enough.
She's very childish. And maybe that's the point, but she's very childish.
Yeah.
For 18, she's kind of 14.
Yeah. And that bothers me.
Mollycoddled a little bit. It's a weird setup because she didn't seem that way to start with.
No, she seemed a little tough and
rough around the edges.
Right. And wary of everyone in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And not putting up with Joel's shit. Sort of thing.
And then Cheeky writes, well, Cheeky didn't watch the show this week, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but just know, Cheeky, that we wish you all the very best and a speedy recovery, and we look forward to getting your views on Coronation Street again soon.
Absolutely. Get well soon, dear Cheeky.
Yep, take care. Feedback's always welcome. Send us your thoughts and I'll probably read them out. Get us at thetalkofthestreet@gmail.com, or our DMs are open at Corrie Podcast. So we love it when people write actual letters to us. Send us your proper mail to the Talk of the Street, PO Box 12, Eaton Rapids, Michigan, 48827. I have been unable to check the PO Box this week because they've changed the combination on my box number.
Why would they do that?
I have no idea. So I went to speak to them, and the combination that they have is the first combination, which never worked.
Right.
So now I can't get into it, and they need to fix it.
Right.
And I need to now go in and speak to someone before I can check the box. And by the time I get home, the post office desk is closed. So
you should have told me. I would have checked.
I will go and visit them tomorrow morning.
Yes.
So please note that we reserve the right to edit feedback, but only in the interest of brevity, because I imagine we're going to have tons of lovely Christmas cards and postcards.
That's what I was thinking.
Hint. And now let's podcast for coffee. Thank you to Ali Q for our coffees this week.
Thank you, Ali.
Thank you very much indeed. Ali writes, this coffee comes with a plea to lighten the fuck up. I loved your podcast, but your new level of hate for the show and persistent noises, I do say quite a bit, are making me turn off. Get back to the comically creative duo you are. Be more Blanche, less Daniel. Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you too, Ali, and thank you for your message.
How fucking dare you compare us to Daniel? How dare you? If anything, we're Tracy.
I don't think we've been very anything over the last few weeks.
We have given credit where credit is due, like last week with the shopping cart and the ladies holding up the Freshco's wall. You know, and we've been very complimentary about some of the banter and stuff in the Rovers. It's just these, for the majority of the time, the storylines just aren't great and bummers, but we will try to lighten the fuck up.
Yeah.
For coffee.
I do my best to cut as many noises out as I can, but a few must have slipped through last week.
I guess so.
Or recently. I do feel that the show hasn't been great.
The show is pretty good this week.
The show was decent this week. The show was good in the summer.
Yep.
And then it just hasn't been that great for a little while. And then plus, you know, we've got stuff going on.
We do.
So
it hasn't been a great couple of months for us.
Right. So the whole, and not that I'm making excuses, but you know, sometimes it's easier to find the lighter side.
Right.
Some weeks than it is others. But
yes.
We've always said we love feedback.
We do.
And we also say, if you send us something, I'm going to read it out.
Right, yes. And also, I love criticism.
Right.
I think I've mentioned that in the podcast before.
So we take it very much in the spirit in which it was offered.
We do.
And we thank Ali for the coffee money, the very generous coffee money. You don't have to give us money to tell us to lighten up. It's that can be free.
It does help, though.
But it does help. So, the Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider. And was that too whiny and explainy?
No. It was just enough.
Okay. Just enough whiny and just enough explaining. Excellent.
Yes.
The Talk of the Street is and will always be free on your podcast provider and on the YouTubes. But if you think our show is worth anything more than the time it takes to listen to it, and if you want to show your appreciation, or if you want more weekly and monthly content, here's your options. Sign up to be a friend of the podcast for as little as $2 a month. You can sign up at patreon.com/the Talk of the Street or ko-fi.com/the Talk of the Street. Or hit the join button on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/the Talk of the Street podcast. We still just have one member on YouTube. Just the one.
Just the one. That's fine.
Keep them company. Friends of the podcast get access to our weekly spoiler show, the Talk of the Street Spoiler Alert, and a monthly classic Corrie show, the Talk of the Street Classics. And if that wasn't enough, you also get a shout out at the end of every podcast and your name on the credits of the flagship. If you prefer something a little less formal, you can also buy us next week's coffee by going to ko-fi.com/the Talk of the Street, and all our links can be found at linktree/Corrie Podcast. Remember, you can always support the podcast for free. Get us in front of new listeners by liking, subscribing, rating, and reviewing wherever you get your podcasts. Shall we dive in, my dear?
Yes, please.
We have 8 storylines this week.
Whew! Which is crazy considering that Monday was basically just one storyline. Although they managed to
get 3 in there.
Sprinkle a little bit of other storylines.
But we were going to start with that main storyline from Monday, an Irish flashback. On Monday.
Do you have an Irish sounding flashback sound? Is it the flashback with like penny whistles or something?
No. If only.
Does it say flashback in an Irish accent?
I think flashback in an Irish accent is still just flashback.
I don't know. I'm not all that great at accents.
It's about the vowels, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a difference in the vowels.
Yes.
I don't think there's enough going on in flashback.
Stelly told me a hilarious story about when she was at Disney World and was at Epcot Center, and they were doing this talk with Crash the Turtle.
Yes.
And she pretended to have a Scottish accent the whole way through.
Yes.
And said that you wear rugby helmets on your foot.
Only on special occasions.
It was actually a football helmet.
An Irish flashback then.
Yes.
On Monday, there's a weird opening of Glenda walking down the sunny side of the street saying hello to people.
Yes.
And that the Rovers are putting up a happy 65th birthday banner outside. But it's not for the show. It's for the stereotypical Irish mammy who is also celebrating, going around asking everyone along to our party at the pub later. Because it is
everyone.
Coronation Street's 65th birthday.
Yeah. And also Maggie.
And it's a little strange to me that they put this new character sort of front and centre in the 65th, like Maggie is proxy for the show celebrating her 65th when it's Maggie. But I guess there's no longer serving members of the cast who are celebrating their 65th.
Is there anybody in the cast who could believably be turning 65 this year? Brian, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Because everybody else is either too
I don't
young
know
or
that
too
he's
old.
a better representative for the show.
Yes. So their hands were kind of tied because it can't be Ken's 61st birthday, can it?
Not again.
Or Rita's.
Not again.
Or Audrey's.
Not again. Oh, not again.
And Gail is gone. And Yasmin is gone. So can you think of anybody else who would believably be in their 60s?
Yeah, but you know what I mean, though? It's the show's 65.
Right.
So here we have Maggie celebrating her 65th birthday.
Right.
And having this special episode.
Right.
When she's been on the show since Halloween. And then the episode started with Glenda walking down the street, which was even more.
Right. But she does work in the pub. And so we're going to see her an awful lot when we do the non-flashbacky parts.
I don't know.
And it was nice.
It seemed a little awkward to me. That's all I'm saying.
I liked it. I didn't mind it. And actually, I really enjoyed this episode.
Wow.
I have to say. Because of all of the times we go back to the future. And it's just lots of people in the Rovers talking about stuff.
Yeah, I liked all that stuff.
Yeah, that was good. I was less a fan of young Irish Maggie. But we'll get to that.
Yeah. Inside, Ben is trying to get out of decorating the pub and encourages Eva Cakes to take Maggie out for lunch to allow him to make all the arrangements without her finding out. Maggie's at the salon chatting to Bethany and getting a lowdown on the feud between her and Eva over Aiden back in the day. Eva takes Maggie to Nina's Rolls for her posh lunch. Maggie complains about it to Eva and then tells Roy that this was her choice all along.
Right.
And this is the sort of thing that made me say I couldn't take to her. Is she's very good at saying to people what they want to hear to get them all on side. So everyone's on Maggie's side.
Yes.
And that's untrustworthy, right?
Everybody but Eva. And
yeah, but it feels like she's getting everyone on her side for when the big blowout with Eva happens.
But conjuncturally with Eva, Leanne is on Eva's side as well. Because Leanne is the one that Eva complains about the monster-in-law sort of thing.
Right.
Even though they're not technically married.
Adam is in Nina's Rolls doing a shite, and on the way out, he and Eva share pleasantries, which Maggie doesn't miss. In the Rovers, Shona has found a photo of Maggie and her husband and wonders what happened to him. Well, wonder no more.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
Through the back, the Driscolls are celebrating, and Will is getting wired into the booze with Maggie's approval. Ben's brother, Finlay, is not in attendance, which Maggie doesn't want to focus on. He's living it up in Florida.
Yes.
And he's got an eye for the ladies, that young Finlay.
Yes. An Irishman in Florida. I hope he's got lots of sunblock. It kind of felt like this is Finlay the younger one, or is he old? He's younger than Ben. Okay. So we'll see both of them in the flashback.
Not particularly easy to tell which one was which.
Right. Yeah. Which is why I'm asking which one's older and which one's younger.
I think that's deliberate.
But it also kind of feels, with the way that she's kind of dismissive about it, it kind of makes it feel like perhaps there is an estrangement there.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Like Finlay is not taking his mother's bullshit as well as Ben is.
Yeah, and this is a little example, I think, of why the show worked a little bit better this week than it has in the past, because these sort of subtle subtext,
yes,
you have to be paying attention to spot it.
Absolutely.
Sort of things. This happens quite a bit, or it happens a few times in this storyline, and it happens in another storyline that we'll get to that I quite appreciated, because I got that feeling as well that there's a reason why Finlay isn't there, and it isn't because he lives in Florida.
Right. Yeah.
But we'll get to this.
This is not a Dee Dee situation.
Correct.
Not that Dee Dee shouldn't estrange herself from her family as well, but that's for another time.
Right. So Maggie doesn't want to focus on this, and she toasts her dead husband, Alan. May he rest in peace. And so we flash back to 1990
Gosh and Begorra.
or something. 1989, 1990.
It's an Irish flashback.
Now here is what I also liked about it. The flashback, in stark contrast to the flashback that we got when Mick, Lou and Kit were
children.
Were children and were scarring a woman for life.
Yes, with firecrackers that she couldn't walk away from for some reason.
The whole thing screamed 80s. The music, the fashion, everything was just screaming 80s. Here, there was one thing I noticed in the decoration of the house. People are just wearing this like regular t-shirts. It could be any time. But there's an old wooden framed mirror that Maggie looks into occasionally that's on the living room wall, and that struck me as being kind of dated. But for something that supposedly happened 30 odd years ago, I don't think they overdid it with the let's go crazy 90s and put on bucket hats and start listening to the Happy Mondays constantly. It wasn't as overdone as that. And I appreciated that.
See, I didn't really feel like the whole Mick Kit flashback thing, I didn't feel like that was overbearingly 80s.
It landed with music of the day.
Yeah. And there's a little music of the day in this one, too.
But it's very much subtle. I appreciated it. The only thing that was a real giveaway that it was a flashback was it was in 4:3 ratio.
Right, yes. And Maggie is young.
Yes, that also is a giveaway.
And Ben is a child. And his dad's still alive.
So Maggie's bought her sons a birthday present for them so they don't feel left out. And it's one of those new fancy computer game things.
Right. So a PlayStation.
Was it? I felt it was handheld. Too early for PlayStation.
PlayStation Vita?
Oh, far too early for that.
Yeah, because that was
in the 2000s.
That was the handheld one. Nick had a Vita.
I had it when it was called a PSP.
Ooh.
That ages me. I know. It does age me.
So, okay, all right. A Nintendo 64. Or a Game Boy.
Maybe a Game Boy.
Those were toty.
So, her husband, Alan, doesn't approve of this, thinks it's ridiculous and wonders how much it cost. She doesn't appreciate his interference. And he doesn't seem to appreciate anything about her at all.
Yeah, it is weird when it's your birthday to buy a birthday present for your children.
Yeah.
That is weird.
Very weird.
It's very weird.
It's never happened to me.
No. And your mother let you bathe in the living room.
I was a wee boy.
Well, she fed you chocolates.
I was 26 years old. I wasn't. Anyway.
Your mother is laughing from heaven right now.
No, she's got better things to do. Back in the present, Eva complains to Glenda about how Maggie is the life and soul to everyone, but treats her like shit. Glenda's advice is to grin and bear it and agree with everything Maggie says, and she'll be dead sooner or later.
That's excellent advice, Glenda.
When Maria
whose both of her parents are deceased.
When Maria comes in, Eva Cakes wants to bar her, but Maggie overrules. Eva's name may be above the door, but it was Maggie's money who put it there. Ben agrees with Maggie, much to Eva's
chagrin.
Annoyance. We're back to the 90s again. And I think these are all flashbacks from
1990s.
From Maggie's birthday.
Yes, yeah, it's all the same day.
Little Ben has lost a rugby match, and privately, Maggie is furious, but Alan is more relaxed about it. Maggie goes to slap Alan, but he catches her hand, and when Ben walks in, I assume it's Ben.
Right.
When Ben walks in, he thinks his dad was beating his mum up. When Alan leaves, Maggie lets him continue thinking that.
Yeah.
She goes to slap him for the most ridiculous reason.
Yeah.
Because he's not toughening them up or something like that.
Right, yeah, he needs to be more involved in their rugbying. Young Maggie was weird.
I think Alan was kind of weird as well.
Yeah.
But the catch in her hand when she's going to slap him, that definitely does look like he's the one that's in the wrong when wee Ben comes into the scene. But I think she definitely plays it up.
She does.
And you get the impression not for the first time.
No.
Back in the present, Maggie gives a speech to people that she doesn't know, and they all indulge her. Eva is furious and complains to Leanne through the back about all the things Maggie has done to wind her up and to manipulate Ben. Ben overhears this and announces himself freshly castrated, and it doesn't even hurt. Eva doesn't mind, but would just like Ben to stick up for her once in a while.
Yeah, just every once in a while.
Ben makes no such guarantee.
No.
In the bar, Maggie is attempting to prove that she can see the future by reading Alia's cards, where she makes out that Adam's a bit of a player and has a jealous admirer, i.e. Eva Cakes. In chatting with Brian later, Maggie reveals that Alan died on her birthday, as it goes, and Sonia did. Then her one-tier cake is brought in, and the Rovers sing Happy Happy Birthday with harmony.
Yes, where is our purple cake? Where is our purple 3-layer cake? Which was this big deal last week when Maggie was like, first she wanted her 3-layer cake with apricot.
Nice bit of apricot.
Yeah, and then she decided to completely change her mind and go for chocolate with purple icing and marzipan, I believe.
And she only wants marzipan because a lot of people don't like marzipan.
Right, yes.
I love marzipan.
I'm surprised you haven't made like a black bun for Hogmanay.
No. Look at you saying black bun. Like you're for Coatbridge. I've never made a black bun.
There was a special Hogmanay Bake-Off episode.
I knew Bake-Off was involved in this somehow.
with all of the Scottish contestants, and the first thing they had to do was make a black bun, which is stuffed with like fruits and marzipan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's good.
You should make one.
I'm not thrilled that I get bullied into this sort of thing whilst on a podcast.
And then for like the technical challenge, they had to make shortbread, but they weren't given a recipe. And there's at least one of those Scottish people who had never made shortbread in his life.
I would struggle to make it without looking at a recipe. I would just throw far too much butter in.
Yeah, 3-2-1.
It's impossible to put too much butter in.
Right, yeah, it's a 3-2-1 ratio. 3 parts flour, 2 parts sugar, or 2 parts butter, 1 part sugar. And then there's the old dear, and he was upset because he always makes his shortbread with semolina.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds appalling.
Anyway. Back to Coronation Street. Oh, and I watched the episode with...
Not back to Coronation Street.
With Savina. Not Savina. What was Dev's wife's name?
It was Sanita.
Yes.
Played by Shobna Gulati.
Yes. Yeah, Shobna was on the celebrity soap Christmas episode of Bake Off that I watched this week. She is great. She didn't win, but she was great.
Yeah. Good value.
Yes.
More flashback.
More flashback.
It's Maggie's birthday again, and there's constant bickering between her and Alan, who was supposed to be working. She wanted him out the house. She didn't even want him there.
For her birthday, yeah.
Maggie calls him a cheapskate.
What a weirdo.
She calls him a cheapskate because you didn't get anything special for the birthday or something along those lines, wasn't it?
She got perfume. She should be happy.
Back in the pub, Ben proposes a toast to his dead dad, Alan. Then it's Rod Stewart on the jukebox and several minutes of people singing. Later, through the back,
Maggie May.
Maggie accuses Eva of having something going on between her and Adam. Eva insists that there's only one man for her, and it's Ben. It had better be, says Maggie. But there's a certain way that Eva is looking at Adam that cannot be denied. Don't you think?
I don't think so.
She was definitely looking at him. Because she's sick to the back teeth of Ben always sticking up for his mum.
Yeah, but he did also just buy her a pub.
This is true.
Flashback.
The final flashback, you'll be pleased to hear, is the night of her birthday. On the stairs, Alan's trying to put his head round the door to see his kids, but she tells him to leave. He says he should have done 10 years ago after her affair, and he's sorry he, the other man, didn't want her when he realised what a fucking whorebag she really was.
Oi.
But he's never leaving her with the kids, So she pushes him down like 4 carpeted stairs.
Yes.
And according to soap media, this is seen by Finlay. It's
Yes.
Finlay who
It's
sees
the
this.
wee one, yes.
Who hurries back into bed unseen. And I think we're meant to assume that she's killed him,
Yes.
despite the fact that when he landed, he opened his eyes.
Well, sometimes when you die, you open your eyes. You don't
Sometimes.
shut them.
Sometimes when you die.
That's why you need the pennies. What is a ferryman going to do now that they don't make pennies anymore?
They don't make pennies anymore?
They don't make pennies anymore.
What happens if something costs 1 penny?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person.
I know that it's cost more to make a penny than a penny is worth, and it's been
Correct.
that way for some time.
Yes.
So yeah, Alan is dead, and Maggie has killed him by pushing him down a very narrow staircase.
Right. With
down
carpet.
like 5 or 6 stairs.
Adam was pushed off
A mezzanine. Billy was pushed
and
down a
practically
quarry.
landed on his head. Daniel pushed Ken down the stairs. Ken was much older than Alan was, and Ken lived.
Rob Donovan pirouetted over a banister at an
I
abandoned
remember
office.
that. And after having just undergone kidney surgery and already probably bleeding out or having an infection,
Mm-hmm.
and he lived.
So when I was watching, I was like, that can't possibly be it.
And yet.
But it is.
And yet.
So,
It's Stu's daughter all over again, isn't it?
killed by a diorama or whatever it was.
Right. By a child who somehow was able to lift the diorama over her head and bang it on a woman's head. It killed her.
So this was this week's very special episode.
It was.
With Maggie's flashbacks. And to be fair,
Flashback.
the flashback was very, very brief.
Yeah.
It was mostly about the party at the pub,
Yes.
people singing,
Which was fun.
and that was fun.
It was fun. I liked it. I'm just trying to figure out what we gain from this flashback.
Well, let's talk about that, shall we?
Because I don't
Because
see...
there are lots of clues and lots of subtext here. And this is for a character that I have publicly said lately that I don't care for.
Right, and who is brand new.
I think I care for her a little bit more now than I did, because I had stuck in my head Kate Brooks' words off, "Oh, you're going to love the Driscolls," and Maggie's the centre of it, and she's an absolute screaming I love her. And I'm like, you love her? She's a horrible person.
She is a horrible person.
But she's meant to be a horrible person.
It doesn't make her an absolute scream, though.
No, and I still don't really care for her, but the fact that I'm not really meant to, I think, helps. But let's examine the clues.
We've already got a murder on the street that everybody kind of likes and
Maggie
makes jokes
had
about.
an affair
Yes.
10 years ago. Round about the ages of one of those 2 kids,
Yes.
I'm going to say.
Ben, probably. 'Cause
Yes.
Finlay looks young, closer to like 5 or 6.
And narratively, it's more satisfying if it's Ben who's not really his dad's.
Yeah.
Because we don't know who Finlay is.
Right, yeah.
Because Finlay
Finlay-
fucking hates a lot of them and is staying well clear.
Yes. Finlay watched his mother push his dad down the stairs to his
So-
death.
Let's just say here and now that one of those kids is not Alan's.
Right.
And that's the...
Alan! Alan! Al!
Yes.
Al!
Yes, yes. Yes,
Alan!
Yes, we get the meerkat impression. We get it.
Steve!
So, one of them is not Alan's. We suspect that he knows this, and that's part why this
The problem, yeah.
the relationship is completely broken down. But let's cast our minds back to the first week when the Driscolls arrived, and Maggie found something that made her stop in her tracks in Ken's sideboard.
Oh, are we coming back to that now?
I think we are.
Is it a note that says Tracy killed a man and is not in prison for it? You
I
can
think
get free too.
The father of Ben
Is Ken
is Peter.
Peter and not Ken?
Oh, please.
You think Peter had sex with a woman like 20 years older than he is?
Well, Peter is no spring chicken, let's not forget.
He's like Carla's age. Carla's not 65.
I think Peter had a fling with this woman because she was a good-looking woman back in the day.
When was Peter in Ireland?
Peter's been all over the place. And she's seen Ken. She's seen Ken several times and hasn't had a reaction to whatever it was that was
And no, she got
in the sideboard.
She got very flirty with him once, because remember, she sees the sideboard. She goes in the sideboard before she meets Ken. And then when Ken shows up, she's awfully flirty with him. Then again, she's awfully...
Ken would know who she is.
Ken is an old man. Do you honestly think Ken remembers every single woman he's ever had sex with?
He's got his faculties about him. He'd remember her.
Yeah, Ken slept with a lot of women in 90 years.
You're making a huge case for something that definitely isn't true. And I'm going to stick my neck on the line here.
Then again, Maggie's also like flirty with Brian and Roy.
Well, this is her character. She's flirting with everyone to keep everyone on side.
All
Because
the
she's
old
a
men.
horrible, untrustworthy woman.
And she's probably horny.
So I think, I don't know if it's Peter, but I think I think this is the thing that links all that together. Because that sideboard thing was definitely a thing.
Right, yeah, that the show weirdly seems to have forgotten
And
about.
it hasn't mentioned that again.
Ooh. What? No, it wouldn't have been Ken's dead brother. Because he died well before Ben could
We
have
saw
been
that
conceived.
episode.
We did see that episode.
It was...
And they went to Australia, not Ireland. Oh, what if it's Robert? Because I bet there's a picture
Wait a minute, if you're giving me a hard time for suggesting Peter, Robert is even younger.
No, he had white hair, remember?
He was much younger than Peter.
I don't think so.
Of course he was.
No, he was a silver
He was
fox.
running marathons. He just had prematurely white hair. I know what that's all like.
Robert would be funnier. Because he's dead now.
But what if it was Peter?
And Robert's been to... Robert's been to Ireland.
If it's Peter, it suggests maybe a Peter comeback.
I don't think Peter's coming back.
It's maybe not Peter then. It's intriguing anyway.
Yeah.
Because these are the clues that the flashback has given us. Is that one of the kids was probably born from an affair.
Right.
That Maggie had.
Yes.
And also the point of the flashback, I think, is really just to reinforce that we're not meant to like Maggie. She's a horrible person.
We do like horrible people on this show, though. We like Tracy. And
I think it's well within the realms of possibility that we end up liking Maggie. At the moment, I don't. But this is something that is...
She has her moments.
That's making me be able to reconcile that a bit better than I was previously. Because all I had was, well, I'm supposed to love her. Why don't I?
yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't love her, and I'm not meant to.
Yeah. Because apparently her push is so powerful it kills men down the stairs.
What's the gravity like in Ireland? Is it double or something? Because that was a gentle tumble down the stairs. It didn't even land awkwardly.
It really was.
And then he opens his eyes. Oh, well, he must be dead then. I was expecting him to say, oh, you dirty bastard, that was fucking sore.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's it.
Everyone says that's him dead.
That's
so,
him dead.
Unless
What
she drags him up the stairs and throws him back down again, that's it.
What is up with the physics?
Billy fell down a quarry.
Adam fell off a mezzanine onto a concrete floor. And then he was pushed down those long... Remember when Adam was then pushed down those big stairs? Those big, massive stairs outside the... Was that outside the factory?
He went through a phase of medically induced comas. He was definitely headwind of the week a couple of times.
Yeah. And lived.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that Scottish hard head.
It's true what they say.
It is.
All right. No, I enjoyed that much more than I thought it was going to because the flashback wasn't really the important part of it, or it was just it was 4 scenes.
Yeah.
And they were fairly short scenes.
Yeah.
But it was just enough to give us the flavour of what that
Right.
that family dynamic was like.
Maggie's a weirdo who's a little weird and creepy with her kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing that bothered me the most is that there's it's almost Oedipal. It's not quite there, but
yeah, you wouldn't be surprised.
It's close.
Yeah,
which is reinforced by her reaction to the will stuff that happens.
Yep.
Which I'm sure we're going to talk about soon.
Well, we're going to talk about it now.
Okay, good.
In the next storyline, meet the Driscolls. On Monday, in the Rovers, Will has thrown some Simon specials in the direction of Megan and Daniel. When Daniel nips off for a shite, Megan tells Will to wind his fucking neck in. Later in the ginnel, Will has grabbed some booze and is slowly getting drunk on his own, and a passing Lauren decides to look kindly on him and takes him back inside, advising that he get some coffee down his neck before his dad finds out. In the back room, Will is moaning to Lauren about how everyone treats him like a kid, and then he makes a move. Lauren's like, fuck that, and pulls away just as Maggie comes in.
Right.
She sends Will packing and then warns Lauren to keep her paws off her grandson and keep her mouth shut if she wants to hang on to her job, which was really horrible.
And Lauren, I love this. Lauren says, don't worry, I don't want to have anything to do with him. He's just a kid.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a kid.
And she's 18, 19.
19, yeah. She's not far off the kid wagon herself.
Yeah, she's closer to his age than, I don't know,
Maggie's.
Is.
Yeah.
And Mag. Why did you say Maggie? Did you mean to say Megan?
No, I meant to say Maggie, but I was making a different correlation than you were.
Right. Yeah, so she's much closer to Will's age than Megan is.
Yes.
And it's still off limits for her and icky.
Yeah, she thinks it's gross.
And not just because of the hair.
No, because of the age difference.
Thank you. Lauren is shocked, so later approaches Maggie in the bar to plead her case that Will made a pass at her, and this is overheard by Megan.
Yes.
Later, Lauren tells Ollie about Will making a pass at her and Maggie's reaction, and his advice is to ignore Maggie, who will know this was Will's doing. Will's recently discovered sex and is just trying to get his leg over everywhere.
Yeah.
That's not the greatest image.
No, it's not. And when Lauren passes him on the stairs going back to work, one sees a certain glint in Mr. Ollie's eyes that he's not long for mourning Dee Dee for very much longer.
Right. Megan drags Will outside and gives him a tongue lashing about Lauren. She's tearful as she tells him she knows about Lauren and what happened, and he lies briefly, but then admits it to get back at her and Daniel. She calls him a child again and says if they want to stay together, they need to plan it properly, given that he's 15 and she's his coach. So she recognises this.
Yeah, she knows. Of course she knows.
She tells him to keep away from Lauren and sends him back inside. That went well.
Yes.
She does this all the time, this, I thought you were a man.
Right.
I thought you were mature.
Yeah.
But you do something like this.
Yeah.
She's so manipulative.
Oh, absolutely. It's disgusting.
So on Wednesday, hungover o'clock at the Rovers ahead of opening, except Maggie, who is full of beans. Eva Cakes is stunned, but Ben reveals that it's all an act. And that's everything about Maggie right there.
Yes.
Everything is an act.
Yes.
In Nina's roles, Maggie chats up Daniel and encourages him to make a play for Megan. Meanwhile, Eva and Ben apologise to Lauren for that misunderstanding, and they make matters worse by making Will apologise too. Lauren is just keen to forget it happened at all.
Yes.
He goes to meet Megan outside the ice cream shop and he apologises for the Lauren debacle and insists that he only wants her. Lauren happens to be there too, and she sees them being all lovey-dovey with each other.
Right, like a hand on a knee sort of thing.
Megan is stroking Will's face.
Yes, and her other hand is like on his knee.
Which really can't be misinterpreted.
No, and they're doing it right out in the open in daylight.
At the precinct.
Yeah.
Where people go to get stabbed.
Right. And also ice cream.
You come to get stabbed, you stay for the ice cream.
That's right.
Back at the pub, Lauren says that she saw him with Megan earlier, and Will denies being close to Megan, and he's actually quite good at keeping a straight face here.
Yes.
He just focuses on the homework that he's doing. Lauren tells him to be careful because she knows what she saw.
Yes.
She leaves and he's straight on the phone. Later, Megan's in the pub with Daniel and Will is staring from behind the bar as usual, given the old Simon stares.
Yes.
She tells Daniel that she thinks Will has a crush on her. Daniel wants her to nip that shit in the bud,
Yes.
like he didn't do with Summer a few years ago.
Right, yes. Learn from my mistakes.
Daniel sweet talks Megan back to his place and,
Not for Scrabble.
and encourages her upstairs for a cup of euphemism with extra oat milk.
Euphemism is what he calls his penis.
And oat milk is what he... Nope.
Nope.
Skating on.
Skating on.
Lauren's having a kebab. She's dining in. And she sees them smooch on his doorstep. And Megan sees that Lauren sees.
Yeah.
So this is all kind of contrived
Right.
just to take the heat off them.
Yes.
So she's going to go up the stairs and get her hole off of Daniel then.
Yes.
And he's going to be insufferable.
Yes.
More insufferable, I meant, sorry.
Look out, Elphaba. There's a new sex cardigan in town. I'm surprised.
His chat is so bad.
It's terrible. It's terrible. How does that man get laid?
With such frequency, with good-looking people.
Every short blonde that shows up on the show.
Right.
Except for Sarah. Bethany, yes. Sarah, no.
Mm-hmm. He's also had sex with Carla.
Yes, who is not a short blonde,
No.
so the less said about Carla, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Swain is just lucky she's gay.
Isn't she, though?
Yes.
Very lucky.
She's so lucky to be a lesbian.
So what did you think of this week?
I like that it feels like we are progressing.
Mm-hmm.
I like that we've now... Somebody has seen this. Somebody is suspicious of this now. Not totally in love with it being Lauren, because...
Yeah, nobody's going to believe her.
Right. Nobody's going to believe her, and it's kind of re-traumatizing for her to see another young person groomed by an adult. I think it is tough because Megan looks very young.
Yeah. Yeah, she's in her 20s, I think, isn't she? She's sort of mid-20s, maybe. I think it's probably the same age as Trisha was with Tim.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're kind of going for.
Yeah. Although it's not Tim who seems to be involved in this at all.
Anymore. He walked by them
Right.
a
That
couple
one
of weeks
time.
ago. And
Yeah.
he thought, well, this is what's joining these two together.
Right.
This
It was
is what's
dark.
going to make Tim see sense that
It's not.
Or not yet.
So, not hugely in love with that. I do like I said, I did like the aspect of Lauren saying, no, he's just a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm too old for him. When we know that Lauren is younger than Megan.
Right.
So that's nice and that's good. I don't know. Will turn 16 next week.
Oh, legal.
Well, it's still shocking to me. 16 legal, but it's neither here nor there. I feel like things are progressing in this storyline, that the storyline is not going to go on for very much longer.
Let's hope not. Because it is creepy.
And so I am less inclined to throw any sort of hate at it at this point, because there are storylines that are much worse.
I think my issues with it are pretty much the same as they've been for a while. It's the same storyline as the Tim and Trisha storyline.
Right.
And it's another manipulation storyline. And Corrie is full of those at the moment.
Yes. And we don't really need them all.
And I don't think we need to have a manipulator in every storyline.
No. This sort of coercive grooming. Do we really need to see it again? We've seen it enough. Just mentioned Lauren and Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Bethany and her grooming.
Nathan.
Yeah, with Nathan. Addie and Courtney Boobs.
Yep.
Even though Addie was technically an adult, there was still a balance of power there.
There was definitely a dynamic that was not wholesome about that.
No. And that the show seemed to want us to laugh at.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody said, ew, no, gross.
And that was the end of Courtney Boobs.
That was the end of Courtney Boobs.
It's what's keeping me going is the levels of sanctimony that Daniel is going to hit when he finds out about this.
Oh my God. Daniel is just gonna lose his shit. And he's gonna be
exponentially more Daniel than he currently is.
And he's gonna get so upset because, he supported Megan in getting a job at the school where he was once accused of grooming a student.
To be fair, she didn't ask him to do that.
No, it's true. But she did take advantage of it once it was given.
He's trying to manipulate a relationship out of her as well, just by being this, oh, aren't I so useful? I managed to get you a job. You wanted a job here? Just hang on. I'll have a word with somebody. I'll get you a job. I'll give you the skinny on what you need to say to cross-shot.
That's just Daniel, though. That's just Daniel.
But it isn't manipulative?
I feel like it's less manipulative than, grooming a child.
Oh, of course, but that doesn't mean it's not manipulative.
And it's not like he's gaslighting her the way that he used to gaslight Bethany and Sinead.
That's true.
This is probably the healthiest relationship Daniel has had in years.
Good God. All right, our next storyline is the Bereavement Dividend. On Monday, at Maggie's birthday bash at the Rovers, Ken, Roy, Brian and Rita are in a booth chatting about retirement.
And I already love it.
Ken's advice to them all is to never grow old. Too late, Rita. They joke about him selling up number one and cruising the world, and Ben pipes up that he'd put in an offer to knock through for number one if that was to happen. I was looking into this.
Yeah, I don't think you could do that.
It's expensive, but it's not that expensive.
But there would have to be like some sort of rezoning, wouldn't there?
Rezoning of what?
Of a residential piece of property turned into a commercial piece of property.
No, I'm talking about seeing out your days on a cruise ship.
Oh! I was talking about knocking a wall down and putting a pool table in.
It's like, rezoning what? You're at sea.
I don't want to live on a cruise. I've heard of this, though. This is something that I hadn't heard about.
It's definitely a thing, and it's affordable. It's expensive, like I said, but it's affordable.
Yeah. I don't even want to take a vacation on a cruise.
Nor do I, and I probably don't want to spend the rest of my days on a cruise that I can afford.
Yeah.
But
the germs.
But the idea of it.
The germs, Gav.
Never having to cook another thing. Never having to clean up another thing.
You hate boats.
I don't hate boats.
You hate drowning.
I hate the idea of drowning. And I did see was it Shit Cruise? The cruise ship where the power went out, which meant the toilets didn't flush, which meant everything was swimming in shit.
And then, just never Google death on a cruise ship, because people die of all sorts of things on cruise ships, like being crushed by the elevator.
Oh.
Or,
It's like The Omen.
Salmonella.
Oh, sure, salmonella, you expect that.
Or, being accidentally thrown off ship, like in that terrible Keira Knightley Guy Pearce movie we watched this year, The Woman in Cabin 10.
Yeah. You think it's over and it's still got another hour to go.
It's not. It's got like 3 different endings and all of them are terrible.
So, Ben wants to put in a pool table. Tracy comes in and is shocked at the offer, even though it was a joke, and the outburst sells her true feelings about this, and no one is mistaken that she meant that she sees that house as her inheritance. Ken goes home in a huff, leaving Rita to give her yearly speech. Now you listen to me, young lady.
Yes.
So Tracy goes home and apologises to Ken for earlier. He thinks that she only cares about her inheritance, and she insists that the money isn't important to her, and she admits to taking Ken for granted. She promises to spend more time with him, and then abandons him to leave him to watch a documentary about the science of decay, and there's the boring moment of the week.
I actually want to watch this documentary about the science of decay. It sounds fascinating.
Well, maybe it isn't the boring moment of the week then.
Where can I find this documentary about the science of decay?
That's depressing.
Look, I'm one of those people who has very seriously considered donating my body to the body farm when I die. So I'm very interested in decaying things. I would like my body laid out in the North Carolina sun. And for scientists to
You don't have to wait until you're dead to do that.
to poke me
No, you have to wait till you're dead for that.
and to measure how many maggots are in my skull at any given time.
Thank you for saying skull.
That's where all the food is, up in my brain.
So, just a short little story here, but one
Yeah.
wonders if there's anything more to it
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah, because
It is
Ken was
unthinkable.
very upset.
It is unthinkable to think of Ken leaving Coronation Street.
Yeah.
But as unthinkable as it is, it felt like this was a little bit of foreshadowing for that.
The fact that Tracy could not see that this is clearly a joke kind of bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Because can she honestly see her dad on a cruise ship? I don't. And I only see the man on my television.
Right.
That man was Lawrence of Arabia for Halloween 50 years ago. That's not the kind of person that takes cruises. This is a man who sits very quietly in his living room listening to classical music and watching documentaries about the science of decay.
Yeah, I suppose he's more of a going on excursions.
Right,
than,
yeah.
Than lying on a sun lounger.
Right. Yes.
But he's an old man and maybe he would want to leave. I don't know.
I can't imagine him wanting to leave that street.
No, I can't imagine it either. But then, well, what else is this foreshadowing? Is
Or
it
maybe
Tracy
it's-
maybe leaving?
Maybe it's not foreshadowing anything. Maybe it's just, a nice little story to remind us to think fondly of our elders and not wait for them to die so we can inherit their stuff.
It was amusing when he said that you look at me and the first word that comes to your mind is dead. And she said, actually, it's Dad and Deirdre.
Aw,
And that got him back on side.
that was nice.
It was lovely, the old crew
Yeah,
sitting in a booth just,
joking.
yeah, joking and remembering and
Yeah, it was nice. I liked it.
all what's happened that we've got so old and we're sitting here. You blink and suddenly that's you.
Yeah,
And I liked that sort of theme to it.
yeah, me too.
And Ken's advice as the only person in that group of retirees was never get old.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on to our next story, The Lonely Grave of Tia Wardley. On Wednesday.
Oh, hold on. Ugh. This is the only storyline that truly deserves a. Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
There's something in it, though, that I liked a lot. Because when you look for it sometimes, you find something.
Yeah.
So Wednesday is awkward breakfast time at number 6, and Becky is loving winding Carla up, talking about what they're going to do for Christmas and mocking Carla's choice of favourite Christmas song. She sings a few bars of Fairy Tale of New York, and it's evident that she's as good at singing as she is washing her face. It's so much that Carla has to stab the butter before she leaves for work.
Yes. And before Becky can get to the homophobic slur in the song.
She'll be Christmasing at Roy's, which Becky also mocks until she's drowned out by Betsy and Swain sucking in air between their teeth. Meanwhile, Kit rocks up to see D.I. Costello and hears his wife and daughter chatting about how he was supposed to be retired in the Lake District by now. The plan was September. The wife is suspicious when she sees Kit, but the daughter knows him, so it's not super weird. The wife asks for privacy at this difficult time.
You would think Costello's spouse would know the people that Costello works with.
If the daughter does.
Well, the daughter does because, Kit was talking to her when Becky was talking to her very creepily. But police stations, they're like a big family, aren't they? They have like Christmas parties and fundraisers and things.
If you're the big boss, you probably should know.
Yeah,
Your underlings.
and your underlings would know your spouse.
Yeah.
Because your spouse would be invited to those parties and fundraisers and things.
So she doesn't want to talk about it and doesn't want to chat about the retirement plan anymore. Kit goes to visit Swain and tells her and Becky, because she's there obviously like a bad smell,
Yes, she is.
about Costello's secret plans to retire in September. This is the first that Swain has heard of it. Becky tries to play it down, saying Costello is well within his rights not to tell anybody. Kit doesn't think it makes sense.
Yeah, you would need to tell the people you work with that you're retiring so that your job can become open and they can apply for it, amongst other things.
Becky is uneasy when Kit announces that he'll continue digging. Despite not working at the factory, he goes to the factory where Carla is the only one there and she's day drinking. He tells her about Costello's retirement plans that were put on hold when Becky rocked up. The two of them are convinced now that they're onto something. Kit knows a dodgy copper when he sees one because he's looked in the mirror recently. And Becky matches the description. He sees Becky in the street later and paints a picture of her drunken Carla in the factory, desperate to see Swain, and he asks her to pass on the message, which Becky says that she'll do, but she doesn't pass on the message. And instead, even though she doesn't work at the factory, she goes to the factory and finds Carla knocking back the whiskey like it's going out of fashion, and Carla is not at all surprised to see her. Carla congratulates her on winning, and then manages to get Becky to admit that this is why she's back, that she would have stopped at nothing to get Swain, and if necessary, would have forced Swain to love her, whatever that means.
Ugh.
Carla says that she never stood a chance. Nope, says Becky, and she tells Carla to stay away from number 6. It's her house!
It's her house! She owns it!
It also seems that Carla has bought a holiday in the Canaries, and Becky tells her to go there. Look, you might meet somebody.
Oh.
Someone's got to go to Spain, and might as well be you.
That's
Later,
true.
though, Carla bursts into number 6 during family movie night and reveals her ruse. She was merely pretending to be drunk earlier.
Yes! It's the old pretending to be drunk ruse.
And
Works so well.
And she set Becky up by recording the meeting in the factory on her phone, and she plays it back. But rather than having the desired effect, idiotic Betsy doesn't seem to grasp its importance, and Swain announces that she's had enough of the two of them and leaves them to it.
Yeah, she's not a price to be won because apparently now she is. Carla is Aladdin and Becky is Jafar.
That's not a reference I'm going to get, I'm afraid.
You've
if you're
never
going to do a Babe Pig in the City, I would have maybe been able to get
No, Disney's Aladdin. You know, where Princess Jasmine says, I'm not a prize to be won.
Does she?
Yes. Famously.
Not that famously. Maybe Carla would have been better explaining all this to Swain on her own.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that would probably be the right thing to do. Walk in and say, hey, Swain.
A word in your shell,
you.
like.
Yeah.
Let's go to Roy's for a minute.
Yeah. So I can play this recording for you, which will just tell you all the things you already know.
The thing is, Carla was pretending that he was drunk but admitted it. Becky was pretending that he was drunk and didn't.
Yeah.
We're not piecing those two things together.
No.
Carla promises Becky she's going to find out what Becky's been up to instead of having a wash. So she goes off to see Costello, who miraculously comes round and confirms through some grunts and groans that Becky was behind his attack. When she asks for evidence, he mumbles, Hill and rhubarb. Hill rhubarb. My favourite. Kit is listening at the door, and no one tells the nurse that Costello's woken up. Carla and Kit chat about this, but it feels like a dead end, and Carla's had about enough of this shite, and she's out. On Friday, at number 6, Becky's got the hump with Swain for sulking at her. Swain is sick of being stuck in the middle and isn't keen on getting relationship advice from her, so she can go fuck herself. It's interesting, though, that Becky gets the hump because Swain's got the hump, isn't it? I think there's a certain dynamic there that is not entirely healthy.
Well, when you say got the hump, what are you referring to?
That she's grown a hunch, if you like. No, that she's in a bad mood, given the silent treatment, that sort of thing.
Yes. Okay. All right. That makes more sense.
Costello's wife is at the Nick to pick up some personal trinkets to help Costello in his recovery, and there's a photo of them outside a cottage in the lakes, and Kit uses a very common police technique here that I was very impressed to see.
Oh, yes.
What you do to get information out of somebody, if you're a policeman, is that rather than asking them questions, because when you quiz someone and you ask them question after question after question, they tend to remember that you were quizzing them.
Yes.
So what you do is you make a wrong assumption to them.
Yes. Yes, he does that
And
very well.
people's natural instinct
He's
is
the
to
same
correct you.
Yes. Yeah. Very smart of Kit.
It was.
Yeah.
And he did it a couple of times, and it was great. I'm sitting
Here we
watching this thinking,
have
this is
a
somebody
true
who's watched
detective.
the behaviour panel
Right.
on YouTube.
It's Matthew McConaughey all over again.
Because he says to her, this is from such and such a place. And she goes, no, actually, it's Coniston, and we bought it last year. It's called Raven's Gill, but Hill Rhubarb was the second choice. She realises that she's been played here a little bit and hurries out. He does some digging and finds out the cottage was bought by a company that Mrs. Costello is a director of, a company that was set up in the weeks after Becky died.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Carla's thinking about fucking off to Lanzarote after all, but Roy thinks this sends a very final message and advises her to cock Annie. So Carla goes back to the house, where Betsy wonders why she's there, in her own house.
Yeah, it's my house.
While Swain is at the gym. Carla says that she loves Betsy and she's glad she's there because Swain's got a lot of battle scars and Carla just wants to know that she's going to be okay. Swain comes home and, having overheard lots of this, isn't interested in Carla's apologies or her pledges of love and thinks they've seen each other at their worst and maybe it's best to call it quits, and she accuses Carla of trying to manage her like a machinist and she should be more understanding. I think Carla has been super
has
understanding.
Been overly understanding. This really kind of pissed me off because Swain's expectations of Carla here are impossible.
Right.
Carla has held her tongue so much. She has allowed Becky into her home to sleep on her couch.
Several times.
Yes. She has bit her tongue more than once when Becky all of a sudden comes in and says, oh, so-and-so is after me, hide me, sort of thing. I'm not quite sure what Lisa's expectations are here.
No, the thing is, again, about the manipulation of Swain has been manipulated by Becky, but Carla can't possibly allow that to happen.
Right.
And still have her back. But Swain seems to think that Carla's silence on this matter should have been longer and she should have been more vocally behind Swain. But I think it's impossible to be behind Swain yet also trying to stop this manipulation that's going on.
Right.
And this lying that's going on and gaslighting that's going on. It's impossible to do both of those things at the same time. Those don't jive with each other. You have to do...
Correct.
So...
Yeah.
So yeah, I am absolutely baffled. One, that Swain, who has gone to some great lengths herself to try and... Well, maybe not that great lengths, but she's been keen to reconcile and to talk.
Right.
And Carla comes back looking to reconcile and talk.
Yes.
And Swain's like, nah.
No.
I'm done.
Because she refuses to accept that she's being manipulated by Becky.
Mm-hmm. And until that happens...
Yeah. And she won't, because she does not like to admit when she's wrong. She's not good at that. Firstly. Secondly, I think deep down she doesn't want to believe that Becky could be so awful, that she could have loved someone this awful.
But she knows that she's this awful, unless you're willing to believe everything that she's been saying, because she's pretended to be dead for 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
That's your first clue.
Right. And yet, Swain is constantly saying, oh no, she's not really that bad. She's fine. She's not really trying to break us up. And even when she has the evidence that she's trying to break you up on a tape recorder, It's not really a tape recorder. It's her cell phone.
Mm.
But just let me have this.
Yeah, I'm saying nothing. I mean, mentally I'm taking notes, but I'm saying nothing.
Yes. With evidence to the fact, she doesn't listen to it and say, okay, maybe you're right. She gets mad at Carla. She gets mad at Carla for giving her hard evidence to the contrary of her beliefs. It's like talking to my Republican relatives.
Wow.
That's
some serious shit right there.
That is some serious shit right there. And this is the thing that's very frustrating because we know Swain is smart.
Well, we know that she used to be smart.
Yeah. So it's frustrating to see her all of a sudden become not smart just because it happens to be the woman that she used to be married to.
It's not even just that smart. It's just been so wishy-washy.
Right. Yeah.
Because she's so wishy-washy this week.
Yeah. And I can kind of understand that she is in a difficult position right now.
Because of Betsy.
And because of Becky, because I'm sure it's very confusing for her to have this person that she's already grieved, that she has accepted as dead, just show back up. And I mean, I think we got that from her conversation with Roy a few weeks ago, when she's like, I love Carla, but I also have all these feelings that I don't know what to do with now that I know Becky is alive. I get that. But then to turn around and say to the person that you actually love, oh no, she's not that bad. When you know for a fact she's that bad.
Right.
When you've said out loud which one you want to be with. And when you've seen Becky try to get in your pants a few
Several times.
You can't say, oh no, she's not really trying to do that.
Last week she wanted to get in the shower.
Yeah. So I don't understand.
No, this is a bit that gets me about the storyline. It feels like the emotion is so manufactured and untrue. It's not helped by it being a kind of fantastical situation, but there needs to be some kernel of truth in these reactions. And I think Swain this week was just off the chart. And she gets worse.
She does.
So Swain goes upstairs and removes herself. Carla leaves her ring in the living room jewellery box.
But not like that.
Everyone should have a
Living room jewellery
in the
box,
living room.
yes.
She goes back to the factory where she picks up a message filling her in on the cottage stuff from Kit and the holding company and all that. Meanwhile, Becky comes home to learn that Swain has kicked Carla to the curb and that Carla's on her way to the airport to Lanzarote. Becky thinks this might be for the best and Betsy the idiot agrees. At the factory, Kit is disappointed to find that Carla has given up, especially when they're so close to the truth. So Carla goes back to see Costello and chats with him some more, but he talks gobbledygook, which a nurse, who doesn't wonder who Carla is, calls it word salad. After the stroke, even if Costello wants to say the right thing, often he can't. Well, fuck this for a game of soldiers, says Carla. She's got a plane to catch, and she wishes Costello luck.
Costello had a stroke?
They thought he had a stroke when he came out of the coma.
Oh, that's right. But even just being in the coma would give you word salad.
Meanwhile, Swain is leaving Carla a message after a change of heart, declaring her
Again?
love. I know, and being unable to think of Christmas without her, which Becky overhears. Swain's about to head off to the airport, which Becky tries to talk her out of when Swain gets a text from Carla telling her to stop calling her. She's off to the Canaries, leave her alone, enjoy your stupid Christmas. Swain breaks down and Becky comforts her.
Yeah, and at that point, Swain should say, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. I don't want you to hold me because I'm not in love with you anymore. And you're the problem. And she doesn't do that.
So obviously the problem.
She doesn't do that. She just kind of lets Becky comfort her. And it's like, why are you doing this? Do you not understand that this right here is the problem?
If the tinsel boa and putting up the Christmas tree the other week wasn't clue enough.
Right.
And it should be clue enough.
Yeah.
This is just, it augments that so much.
Ugh. I'm sorry. But yes. I cannot stand the storyline.
Again, I feel like we might be getting close to the end of it.
Well, we're almost at Christmas, so that's when all the shit goes down, right?
One would hope. but there's an awful lot of shit that needs to go down at Christmas, and we were promised fun.
Well, it will be fun to see some of these storylines ending. Ending in a giant car crash outside of Emmerdale.
Which is happening, they announced the date of that. It's January 6th, I think, January 5th, January 6th. This is when the new schedule is starting.
Schedule?
Half an hour of Emmerdale, half an hour of Corrie, every day of the week. But for Corriedales, there's an hour of the crossover. Which I just can't get excited about.
I'm not excited at all.
Things explode. You love it when things explode.
Cars crash.
It looks like there might be a volume wall. I'm all for
There's
that.
a car crash. But no floating guns.
Do you think Carla really has gone to the Canaries?
I don't know.
I'm not sure that she has.
I would go to the Canaries.
Winter sun, it's great.
Totally. Yeah. Get a nice tan. Relax. Carla needs to relax.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. Carla needs to relax. And if she can afford to go to the Canaries, she should totally go to the Canaries and just leave all of this behind.
All right, we'll move on to the girls' version 2. On Wednesday,
Girls.
Sally, well done.
Thank you.
Sally and Tim are getting the new girls ready for school, and chat turns to a Christmas party that Sally is organising for the Knicker people, and she asks the new girls for fashion tips. Turns out Joanie has invited some friends round for dinner, and everyone agrees that this is cool. So cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, even though she didn't ask before inviting girls over for dinner.
Sally and Tim have made party snacks and bought Joanie a party frock. Joanie and Shanice hug Sally, although Shanice can only hug Sally's legs.
Yes.
The mood changes though when Joanie's pals are no-shows and she runs up the stairs of Discovery to her room in her lovely frock. It was a lovely frock.
It was.
Kids, eh?
Yes.
On Friday, Joanie is still down in the dumps about being Joanie no mates and wanting to see her mum on Christmas Day. Unthinkingly, Sally says, well, we can take you to the prison to see her, much to Tim's consternation because he says, what if it's full up?
What if we can't make an appointment?
What if the prison's overbooked on Christmas? And he's right to be worried because there's no visiting on Christmas Day because they can't get the staff.
Right, because the staff has a right to spend the holidays with their families.
Right. Joanie takes this very badly, blaming Sally for not delivering on a promise that she couldn't possibly keep. Tim says that they'll go as close as they can to Christmas, but that's not good enough for Joanie, and she stomps up the stairs of Discovery again in disgust, while Shanice tells Sally she should go to her stupid factory Christmas party after all. So Sally does that, and Sally looks fucking fabulous in her party dress. And when she gets home, Tim and Sally promise to do everything they can to make Christmas for the new girls special.
Yes.
That's lovely.
Yes. Where's Brody?
We just saw Brody's shoe this week. Don't complain about lack of Brody. Lack of Brody's a good thing.
It was very cute. This I love.
Oh,
because
100%.
Tim especially is such an adorable father.
Yep.
He's so cute with those kids.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me want to untie my fallopian tubes watching him be father of the year. I want Tyrone to wheel himself into that apartment, into that flat house, whatever, and take notes about the proper way to raise girls.
My favourite part of this was when Tim was so angry at the girls who didn't show up for Joanie that he wanted to go and have a word with them at the school.
Yes.
And he'd gone on about how he was a good dad, or he'd raised Faye well. Or something, and
like,
Sally said she got knocked up when she was 12, and he says that wasn't my fault.
Right? Yeah, he wasn't there at that point. Like, how did you raise Faye when you weren't there for like most of her childhood?
He was there when she was pregnant. I think he was there when she was pregnant. Sally's reaction was just hilarious.
It's very funny. It's nice of the show to remember that Faye got knocked up at 12 and had an abortion, or no, she gave her child up for adoption.
Yes.
Which is what Dee Dee should have done.
Yeah, this was a nice, heartwarming story. The
it was
wee
lovely.
Shanice was just brilliant. And I'm starting to like Joanie now.
Yeah, I like
Even
Joanie.
though she was a bit stompy and a bit Stairs of Discovery this week.
Right, yeah, but she's of an age where that's perfectly normal.
Next up, we got Sucks to be a Webster. On Wednesday at the Rape Hotel, Debbie has fucked up her wedding bookings. She's booked it for March, but March 2027, she tells Carla and Abby. She might be dead by then, and now she can't remember her and Ronnie's favourite song for the first dance, and she eventually remembers it by singing it. Your love is king, and this sets everyone off, including your humble correspondent.
Aww.
Abby and Carl take Debbie home and get her settled, and despite Debbie blaming Abby for the bother with her brothers, she breaks down on Abby's shoulder when she thinks that they're going to have to cancel the wedding.
And that was lovely.
It was. Later, and Abby's like, even if you don't think of me as a sister, I think of you as one.
Yeah, and that was really
lovely as
nice too.
Later, Debbie is phoning around vendors trying to get her money back, and she gets a message from Elaine asking for a call. Not Tim's mum.
No.
Because if it's Tim's mum, then we need to call the storyline Tim's mum about the house. That's the rule.
That is the rule.
Debbie makes a note, but then Abby and Carl come in and they've rearranged everything, managing to get a new venue on the cheap in 3 weeks. At a venue that they thought was too expensive.
Yes.
So this is even better.
Even better.
Carl says he just needs a company account to pay the deposit. The dirty bastard.
Right, yes. And that the deposit is $3,000. Remember that.
Oh, should I remember that?
Yes. Because of what happens, what he says when he makes that call and puts the deposit down.
Oh, I don't think, it's just 1,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So where's that $2,000 going there, Carl?
Your back pocket. You prick. On Friday, Ronnie and Debbie are working on their wedding plans. Debbie worried that her wedding planner is going to have a fit when she calls her again to change the arrangements. Is this the Elaine? Debbie fingers a post-it and bites the bullet, and it indeed seems to be Elaine. I thought it was Layla in Emmerdale who was the wedding planner. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
And they choose fireworks instead of doves.
Turtle doves, yeah.
Because less poop.
Meanwhile, Tyrone is down in the dumps as after multiple calls to the police, he still doesn't have an update on his hit and run from months ago.
Where was the CCTV for that?
Take a hint, Tyrone.
There's got to be CCTV for that, shouldn't there?
Well, there's some footage. At the Rape Hotel, Debbie is fretting about inviting Abby to the wedding, and Ronnie thinks it's beyond the pale and they should be thinking of Kevin, and inviting Abby and Carla is like choosing. Debbie thinks that the day is about the two of them, so everyone will just need to get the fuck along. But when Debbie tells Kev about her plans, he resolves to not darken the door of the wedding, ever. If Abby and Carl are going to be there, he'll be busy serving imaginary punters in his fictitious pub.
Right, yeah, which seems to have disappeared again.
Debbie begs on her knees, but this cuts no cheese with Kevin. Later, Kev tells Jack about this, and Jack thinks Kev is a selfish prick. This isn't about Kev, it's about his sister who he claims to love, and he's running out of chances to prove it.
Yeah.
So Kev goes to the pub and tells Debbie wild horses wouldn't keep him from her wedding, and he doesn't mention that this is all thanks to Jack.
Right, yes. Well done, Jack.
Glenda's impressed that Kev can show the minimum amount of humility.
Yes.
Abby comes in looking for shifts at the pub, but there's nothing doing. And talking of nothing doing, Tyrone comes in and tells everyone that they've closed this case due to lack of evidence. When Carl learns of this, he can barely hide his relief. But then, apropos of nothing, Liam is checking out footage from his drone, and wouldn't you know it, there's footage of Carl stealing that fancy motor. Dum dum dum.
Dum dum dum.
I like apropos of nothing.
Yeah.
I don't really, but...
Yeah. Little Deus Ex Machina.
Just a little bit.
With a drone.
Oh, you've got a drone now? Did we see a drone before? Maybe a drone was mentioned. I wasn't entirely surprised.
It's for a school project,
For a geography project.
Yes. I wonder what else his drone has picked up. Those suckers tend to be really noisy, though. You'd think Carl would look up and see it and be concerned.
Yeah. Carl doesn't look up. He's not a looking up kind of guy. It's like dogs. Dogs can't look up.
Dobby looks up. It's sheep that can't look up. It's sheep and turkeys. Because if turkeys look up, they're too dumb to not keep their mouths shut, and so they drown.
Because they're underwater?
No, because they're like, and like all the water goes...
What water?
The rain. When they look up in the rain.
What if it's no raining?
Then they're fine, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. They're turkeys. I think it's turkeys. I know sheep can't look up. Because they don't have necks.
Of course they do. What joins their head onto their bodies?
Wool.
This is great content.
The best.
Clip that. So,
This is a
just
comedy
when
you've
you
been
think-
looking for, folks.
Just when you think that, reasonably enough, the police have nothing to go on because someone's stolen their urinals. If the police have got nothing to go on, it was months ago. They can't believe that Tyrone still keeps on bothering them about.
He's in a wheelchair. Of course he's going to bother you.
He's got nothing else to do. It's like,
he
would you
needs
expect?
justice.
Do you expect them just to pluck evidence out of the air?
Again, I don't understand why there wouldn't be CCTV of this accident.
I was outside the number one stabbing point of Weatherfield. So you would think that
There would be
there would
CCTV.
maybe be some interest in putting some surveillance cameras down there.
Absolutely.
But apparently not.
Aye, aye, aye.
Jack was good here.
He was good.
Kev was just awful. The
Yes.
fact he doesn't give Jack any credit for this. I had a word with Jack and Jack made me see the error in my ways.
Yeah.
He makes out that he came to this conclusion on his own.
All on his own.
What a shit.
Debbie doesn't mention having him and Carl walk him down the aisle in that whole conversation.
No, maybe maybe we're leaving that for day 2 or the day before or 15 minutes before it's due to happen.
Because Kev does say something to her about, oh, so you've picked Carl to walk you down. That's a better choice because he looks better than I do. And that is the part where she should have said, no, I want both of you to walk me down the aisle.
But I'd like you to maybe have a wash and a shave beforehand.
Yes. Yes. Thank God you got rid of that jacket, though.
I had cause to watch his wedding to Abby, and you know those kind of hairs that grow in the back of your neck that you get shaved off when you go and get a haircut?
Well, I don't, but sure.
He didn't. He hadn't.
No.
It's like, come on, Kev, get your haircut before you get married, for goodness sake.
People are going to be looking at the back of your head.
Yeah. Penultimate storyline is Shona Up the Duff on Friday. Just a few scenes about this on Friday, Helen.
Yeah, but they were good scenes.
Shona is up to something and demands David is home early. David thinks he's getting his hole and he makes Audrey noises to celebrate.
Yes, and Shona doesn't disavow him of that idea.
No. So he hurries home, pushing people out the way, almost with his bobby out.
Yes,
as he bursts in. Daddy's home.
He's unbuttoned his pants and he's about ready to pull himself out. Surprise!
There's a baby shower underway. And they've suddenly got a pool table from somewhere.
Yeah.
Gary and Nick are playing pool.
Is it the one from the barber shop? Because remember the barber shop had a pool table.
No, I don't think it is.
It's like, what happened to the pool table from the barber shop?
Oh, why don't they still have the barber
and
shop?
the motorcycle. That was a great set.
That was a great set.
But now he has to work with Audrey.
And the motorcycle was a great place to trap old women under.
Yes, it was almost as good as a Christmas tree.
Right. David isn't keen on this, thinking it's icky and weird, and this takes the wind out of Shona's sails somewhat. The joy has been taken out of the party for her while David enjoys... David enjoys smearing smelly things into nappies for Gary to sniff.
Right. This is a common game played at baby showers.
Is it? I've never been to one, and that was
you
amusing.
identify what is the poop made of in this diaper.
But when Maria mentions that she left the receipt with a baby girl present, Shona takes it the wrong way and throws everyone out. David's definitely not getting his hole.
No.
Later, Shona's calmed down, and David promises to do all the normal baby stuff if Shona agrees it's all right to be scared, but Shona isn't prepared to do that.
No,
because to be
which is
scared
sad.
is to admit it as a possibility, and that's as far as we get with that this week.
Which is funny because, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when you're pregnant, so many things can go wrong.
It's a miracle anyone gets born.
When you're pregnant. So I feel like it's perfectly natural to be scared during every pregnancy, even ones where everything goes right.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just takes that one day.
Right.
It just takes, one misstep.
Mm-hmm.
Or apropos of nothing sometimes.
Biology is very unreliable.
Correct.
A slight chemical imbalance, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Not through anything that you've done, not
No.
through anything that you haven't done, just wasn't meant to be.
Right. Or maybe it is meant to be, but you're going to be on bed rest in a hospital for a month.
That seems very specific, Helen.
Yes. While your baby's heart decelerates and accelerates for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, this was a nice few scenes. I liked them having a drink in the
bottles.
That was funny.
That was funny. And the fact that Nick and Gary don't know how to act at a baby shower because
no idea.
Once upon a time, men weren't allowed at baby showers.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's no picture of baby David on the board, the baby that's supposed to be David is Nick, which was hilarious. It made me kind of chuckle since for a classic Corrie, we saw baby Sarah and toddler Nick
wearing a helmet.
Yes.
Just to be safe.
And crying.
Yeah, these were good scenes. And David was hilarious.
He
Daddy's
was.
home.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here's my penis.
Our final storyline tonight is Theo No Sleeves. On Wednesday, George and Christina are enjoying a post-coital breakfast at Nina's Rolls, which means that they're moving their knives and forks about the plate quite a bit.
Yes.
The reverie is interrupted.
And going, hoo-hoo.
The reverie is interrupted when Eileen calls George and he hurries away, taking the call, promising to meet Christina in the pub later. But George doesn't show up later. So Christina storms round to the Undertaker's and hears George talking to Eileen. Christina bursts in, caught you cunt, but it isn't Eileen Grimshaw, it's Eileen Wilkins, whoever the fuck that is.
Right, but on the phone earlier, it was Eileen
Yes.
Grimshaw because he calls her eyelash still.
Yes.
Which I can understand why Christina may be a little upset with George still calling Eileen eyelash.
As a term of endearment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christina covers saying that she caught George working late again, eh? But later, Christina apologises for the mix-up and admits to being jealous. George tells her about his conversation with Eileen Grimshaw. He called her worried about Todd, but Eileen thinks that he's happy and she doesn't see anything wrong.
That's because she's not there.
Yeah, Christina, though, agrees with George because the two of them are there.
Yes.
Eileen's in Thailand.
Right. How would she know?
Right. On Friday at the Undertaker, George is explaining to someone how the coffin is also cremated, and he's missing Todd, who can handle stupid questions like this better.
Because the person wants to...
Yeah, the guy's not dead yet.
Yeah, the guy's not dead yet, and she also wants to convert his coffin into a bookcase.
It's not a bad idea. Get your money's worth. These things are expensive.
They are expensive, and then they burn.
Christina isn't interested in filling Todd's shoes and recommends that he speaks to him. They go to speed dial later and bump into Gary, who reports hearing some raised voices and slamming doors from Todd and Theo's flat earlier. Christina says to George, that's it. It's time to call Todd. But at the flat, the phone rings out. Chairs have been knocked over, stuff's been spilled, but the place is empty and quiet, and Todd's secret camera photo frame has seen everything.
Yes.
And that's how
Both
we
of
end
them.
this week's episode.
Because there are two. Yes.
Now, what I liked about this
Was you don't have to see Theo.
exactly, you don't have to see the horribleness,
No. Not yet, anyway.
and it becomes almost more effective
Absolutely.
because what has gone on, you don't know.
You don't.
You see something. It's not like the place is upside down, but
No.
something's happened.
It's messy. Mm-hmm. And there's nobody there.
Yep.
But Todd's phone is there,
Right.
which is concerning.
Hugely.
Yeah.
I thought this was one of the best episodes of this storyline for a long time
'Cause you
because
don't
it
have to
didn't
see
seem
Theo.
to be this storyline until right at the end.
Right, yes.
No, but it's super effective.
Yeah, I thought it was very effective. I thought it was especially effective when all of a sudden you're viewing what you've been viewing and there's a date and a time on the bottom of your screen.
Right.
And that's how you know that we're looking through those picture frames.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was very effective.
Nicely done.
Yes. I think we've done a good job.
See, the thing is, I think that we have to be true to how we feel about the show that we're watching.
Correct.
And although the timing has been convenient, because I think the show genuinely has been better this week than it has been for a while.
Absolutely.
And there are nice touches. Maybe it is a decent reminder, though, that maybe keeping an eye out for the nice touches isn't a bad idea. Because when you see that a bit of care has gone into a story, or the show is treating you like an adult and allowing you to notice things and to come to conclusions and it isn't hitting you over the head with something, it really works much, much better. And I think it worked much better this week. I think there was lots of things that I enjoyed that maybe just weren't present over the last sort of month or so. I feel like the show has been in a bit of a rut.
Yes.
And while we don't have much in the way of new storylines that are fun, it's handling the existing storylines, I think, better.
Yes, and adding elements of fun to them, like with the baby thing.
Right.
And Gary smelling diapers with peanut butter and fish paste.
Sounds like my work sandwiches.
I don't think I've ever eaten fish paste in my life.
Oh, I have. And fish patty. Eaten a lot of fish patty.
Fish patty I can understand.
It's good.
Spreadable fish, no thank you. I'm assuming fish paste is spreadable.
Everything's spreadable, eventually. There you go, that's a quote for the week. Everything's spreadable eventually. No, but this storyline gave us more of Christina and George. And Christina and George are fast becoming a favourite of mine.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they've worked really, really well. It helps that the actors know each other.
It helps that they're like best friends in real life. It's Sarah and Damien all over again.
But there was a time where I was concerned that Christina was leading George on.
Yes.
I don't think that's happening at all.
Me neither.
This is a very genuine relationship. And
Yes.
the two of them are working brilliantly together.
It's adorable how deplorable they are.
But we talked about Swain and Carla and about them having each other's back. Christina's 100% got George's back.
Absolutely. And by having George's back, she also has Todd's back. And I like that.
And she's been, she's looked very favourably towards Todd.
Yes.
Right from the start.
It's weird how she's more maternal towards Todd than she ever was towards her own daughter.
Well, Daisy's a cow. She was.
So was
Wasn't
Christina.
she? And Christina was as well. They've smoothed her edges out a little bit here,
Which
but
is
she's
nice.
still, because she was a cow to Glenda. Let's not forget. Just last week.
Yes, but in the end, they were good friends again towards the end. So I don't know.
And I do enjoy the never-ending list of very common north of England last names that all the women who go to see George about their deceased husbands have. We had a Wilkins this week. It's always names like Wilkins and Henderson and all that sort of stuff. It's the small things I appreciate. Well, that was the week that was Coronation Street. Helen, tell me, what was your moment of the week?
Tim with the girls.
Tim with the girls.
Yes. Being like the best father Coronation Street has ever seen.
I'll go along with that. I thought there was a few
There were a few good ones.
good moments, but
Yeah.
we'll take that. We haven't given it to Tim in a while.
That's true.
So, that is our
Moment of the week.
Our moment of the week.
now that this is what I've been waiting for an hour and 50 minutes. What is the boring moment of the week? Is it the documentary about the science of decay? Or is it Daniel and his going for a cup of euphemism with extra oat milk? Or is it none of those things?
I feel like there was a discussion during Maggie's birthday party that was more boring than either one of those things, but I can't, and I feel like it was a conversation that Brian instigated, and I can't remember what it was. It was that boring. Can you think of anything Brian said that was boring?
Brian asked Maggie about her husband.
Yeah, but it wasn't that. It was they were talking about something else, and I think it was the conversation that led towards the cruise ship thing. I don't remember it. You know what? Fine. Just give it to the documentary about the science of decay.
Thank you.
For a moment of the week.
But
I don't ask for a lot, Helen.
But hey, if anybody can send me the link to a documentary about the science of decay, I would be very appreciative because I want to watch that.
Yay!
It's our Yay Mate. This is a section we ask people on Twitter what they think about the show this week, and they respond either saying yay, meh, or zzz. And the voting so far is zzz, 22.6%, meh, 48.4%, and yay, 29%. So I think that meh has it. Laws says, I enjoyed Mondays and I'm intrigued by Maggie, but the rest was rubbish. Way too much Becky this week. I don't think there was.
I feel like we got very little Becky.
I mean, the Becky that we got was infuriating.
Yes. But
When she was singing Fairy Tale in New York,
I just wanted to punch her in the face.
Mm-hmm. And her stupid unwashed face.
Just punch her in the face. It's like, stop it.
Can you whistle, Becky? Because you can't fucking sing.
Right. It was like you hoped that Maggie herself would burst through the door and punch Becky in the face for the sake of all of Ireland.
Or Rod Stewart. Why is Rod Stewart involved in it? Oh, Maggie May. That's what I was going.
Right, yes. But the Pogues, famously, are not Scottish.
No.
They're Irish.
Well, neither's Rod Stewart.
His last name's Stewart. He's got to have some Scottish in him.
He probably does, but he's not Scottish. He's a Londoner.
Yeah, his grandparents are Scottish. They're Stewarts. That's a Scottish name. I mean, Martha Stewart's an American, but never mind.
And Alf Stewart is a fictional Australian. So, what's your point, Colin? Anyway,
And Stuart Little is a mouse.
We don't let those scores influence our scores, obviously, Helen. We'd be foolish to do so.
Yes.
So, what is your score out of 10 this week?
7.5.
What? It's a good old-fashioned 6 for me.
Yeah, I think I was 7 last week, and you were...
No, you were 4 or 5 last week.
I was higher than you last week, and I remember being surprised by that.
I think I was 4.5.
Yeah, and I think maybe I was 5 or 6,
You weren't,
5.5.
You weren't super high. This is one of the highest scores you've given it this year.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm standing by it, 7.5.
A 6 for me. I thought it was much better.
I'm rewarding it for giving us adorable Tim.
And I think that the very special episode wasn't all that special. I just wish that they wouldn't give us a very special episode every week, because then become less special.
Buckle up, buckaroo.
Oh, I know. Don't you worry. All right, let's wrap this one up then. This episode was brought to you with thanks to our friends of the podcast. Daisy, French Helen, Pickles, DT, Wendy, Noel, Canadian Helen, Christy, Shandy, English Victoria, Aurora Yvonne, Heather Westerfield, Russell Whiting, Jackie B, Brittany Porter, Laurie Anna, Tina, Stephen Leah, Tara J, Fiona B, Canadian Jennifer, Josephine Otingi, Anne Greenwood, Trish R, Sarah Purbrick, Ali Q, Hunker Munker, Darren, the artist formerly known as Seal My Fridge, Pamela, Marge JT, Tom Ambrose, Christopher Anstey, Terry and Ellie, Joe T, Corey Dales, Matthew McKenny, Ozzy Alley, Welsh Emma, Matthew S, Rachel B, Calgarian Jennifer, I really should change that to Uranium Jennifer, Caroline and Amy Metcalf, and Catherine Montero. Thank you ever so much, people. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Lovely people. If
you've ever sang the Fairy Tale of New York and wished you hadn't, write in to tell us about it. We're the Talk of the Street at gmail.com. We're at Corrie Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads and Blue Sky, or you can reach us the old-fashioned way, the Talk of the Street, P.O. Box 12, Eden Rapids, Michigan 48827. Our spoiler show will be available shortly after this one, and in this month's classics we're talking about episode 2790. Get access to this exclusive content by becoming a friend of the podcast at ko-fi.com/Talk of the Street, patreon.com/Talk of the Street, or youtube.com/Talk of the Street podcast. Check out voggle.co.uk for links to our merch store, YouTube channel and blog. And if you're so inclined, please leave a rating and a review on the iTunes or your podcast provider of choice. And be sure to check out our pop culture sister podcast, The List of Lists.
Magicians aren't cool.
Thanks for making it to the end of another episode. and we'll be back next week with more
Talk on the street.
Talk on the Street, y'all.
Bye.
Cheerio.